Now we got it. I don't know what's going on. Lost the camera for a minute, but now we're good. Sorry about that, but we're back up now. And to lead it off here for the White Sox is Anderson. He's batting .273, no homers and no RBIs. And Jim Palmer's third appearance. He's 1-1 with a 2.25 ERA. See Baltimore's upcoming schedule. They got 2 more games here in Baltimore against the White Sox. Then they go on the road to take on the Texas Rangers. And here's the pitch to Anderson. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Palmer strikes him out for out number 1. And Orta comes to the plate. And he's batting .381, off to a great start with a homer and 2 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Roberts at second. Now it'll be out number 2. And now 2 down, nobody on for Frank Thomas. He's batting .231 with a homer and 5 RBIs. And that ball is head high. That ball is hit far. That ball is gone, folks. Kiss it goodbye. Frank Thompson with a 2-out homer gives the White Sox a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first. And Whitman's up now. He's batting .130 with 2 homers and 4 RBIs. And that's going to be back-to-back jacks. Quentin drives one out to center field. Anderson turns around and the ball's flying out of Camden Yards tonight, folks. It's quickly 2-0. Chicago. All this coming with 2 outs as Parallel League joins us here. And Harold Baines, who's batting .300 with 2 homers and 4 RBIs. Is he going to go back-to-back, or is Mr. Palmer going to put one in his ear? I'd put one in his ear. That's going to be a fly ball out the deep left field. Frank Robinson near the track makes the catch. But the back-to-back homers, Chicago 2, Baltimore coming to the plate. And the lead it off for the Orioles is Brian Roberts, followed by Markakis and Ripken. Roberts batting .231. He's got a homer and 2 RBIs. And Joe Horn is on the mound, and it's his third appearance. He's 0-2 with a 2.57 ERA, already off to a 2-0 lead. Yeah, knocked the jockey underwear off of him, didn't they? That's for sure. Here's the pitch to Brian. And that ball is hit hard. That's driven into the gap off the wall, and the ball's flying here in Camden Yards. So a leadoff double by the Orioles. That brings the tying run to the plate with nobody out. Nick Markakis. And Nick, he's batting .209. He does have a homer, though. And 3 RBIs. He's got a runner out there on second. Can he drive him in here? Here's the pitch to Nick. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Joe strikes him out for out number 1 here in the bottom of the first. And Cal Ripken comes to the plate. And Ripken batting .222 with no homers and 3 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. And that'll be out number 2. Now it'll take a 2-out hit by Mr. Brady Anderson. Brady's off to a slow start. Batting .200, no homers and 2 RBIs. Can he get another one here? And that ball is driven into the outfield. Brady tied this ball game up, folks. And that ball is high. That ball is far. How far is this one going to go? Not far enough. That is off the wall out there in left field. But that'll drive in 1. That'll be an RBI double. Brady just missed his first homer of the year. Joe just didn't quite hit the sweet spot. Ball had just enough movement at the end, but it's a 2-1 game. Now you got Anderson at second. Frank Robinson up batting .268. He's got 5 homers and 10 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. 22 and a 1 might get him out of this mess. 22. That's going to be fielding column 2. And that's going to be first on error. And the runner's going to score with 2 outs. So Quitting hits the homer, but then gives up in a run. That's an E7. Does the batter get down to second? Nope. So that's just going to be an E7. An unearned run ties this ball game up. Now the Orioles got the go-ahead run down at first, and Boog Powell's up. And Boog's off to a great start, batting .323. He's got 3 homers and 9 RBIs. And that ball is high. That ball is far. Did he get all of this one, folks? And yes, he did. Boog Powell hits it out there near the warehouse. And he has given the Orioles a 4-2 lead. And remember, these last 3 runs are unearned. The error by Quinton out in left field has cost the White Sox the lead, 4-2. Looks like this is going to be a marathon game. And that brings up Brooks Robinson now. And Brooks, with nobody on and 2 outs and a 4-2 leads, batting .200 with 1 homer and 1 RBI. And that's going to be a base on balls, and the wheels are coming off the cart here. They're going to go out to talk to Joe. Tell him, hey, you should still have the lead, buddy. Calm down. You're pitching well. Brings up Chris Hoyles. Hoyles is off to a terrible start. 2 for 28. He does have a homer and 1 RBI, batting .071. Here's the pitch to Hoyles. And that's going to be a lazy fly ball out the lemon in center field. That'll end the inning, but the error cost him. You had a double by Anderson and a 2-run shot by Boog Powell. Makes it a 4-2 ball game. So we go to the top of the second. You got Lemon, Ward, and AJ due up. Chet's batting .194 with only 1 homer and 2 RBIs. And that ball is hammered, folks. This is going to be a marathon. These pitchers sure don't got their good stuff. That's a double, a leadoff double by the White Sox. And the tying run comes to the plate. And Pete Ward, with nobody out, and Lemon down there with good speed at second. Ward's batting .118. He's got no homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be against the righty. That's going to be a ground ball down the second. And that'll get the runner down the third on a 4-3 put out. The Orioles will play back. Don't want to give up another big inning here. They'll trade a run for an out. AJ's up batting .200 with no homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be a 7-9, 15-25, 34. That'll be fielding column 1. It's going to be a foul ball out in the left field. And let's see here if he's going to tag up on the foul out. So that's a 43. .27, and you got the pitcher due up, so they're sending him. So it'll be a 53 or lower, and that'll be a sacrifice fly by AJ. And he's in there, so that's a sacrifice fly. Runner scores, and it's a 1-run ball game. Now there's 2 outs, and Joe's up. And Joe is looking for his first hit of the year. He's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch from Palmer. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. But the White Sox score 1, cut the lead to 4-3. So we go to the bottom of the second. You got Palmer due up, followed by Roberts and Markakis. And Jim looking for his first hit of, no, he's 1 for 5, batting .200 on the year. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Palmer out for out number 1. And Brian Roberts comes to the plate. He's doubled and came around the score back in the first. And that's going to be back-to-back strikeouts. Joe settled down here in his second inning. 2 up and 2 down by the K. And Nick Markakis, he struck out his first time up. Joe's up to 3 strikeouts now. And that's going to be good morning, good afternoon, good night. He retires the side in order, strikes him out. We get to the top of the third. It's still a 4-3 ball game with the top of the order due up here for the White Sox. Anderson, Orta, and Thomas. Anderson, he was a strikeout victim his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Ripken for out number 1. And Orta comes up, and he grounded out to second his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Palmer with his 3rd strikeout of the game. And Frank Thomas, who started that 2-out rally with a solo homer. Here's the pitch to Frank, 1-for-1. And that ball is hit down the Ripken, a 1-2-3 top of the 3rd. But pitchers seem to settle down now. At the bottom of the 3rd we go. Baltimore with a 1-run lead. And Ripken's due up, followed by Anderson and Roberts. You got the 3, 4, 5 hitters due up. Ripken 0-for-1 today. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Orta's up with it, and that'll be out number 1. And Brady Anderson comes to the plate. He doubled and drove in a run back in the first. 1-for-1. And that's going to be a hit by pitch. So Joe hits Brady. Sends him down the first. The Orioles are chirping. I don't think that's done on purpose. Frank Robinson comes to the plate. He reached on an error. Came around the score in the first. Runner on first and 1 out. And that ball's going to be hit in the right field. And that'll be out number 2. So it's up to Mr. Boog Powell to deliver here with Brady down there at second. Let's see if Brady takes off here on it. I think Brady's going to try to take off and get in scoring position. That'll be a 29. That'll be a 55 or lower. He's safe. And he's in there with a stolen base. So he gets in scoring position for Boog Powell here with 2 outs. And Powell is 1-for-1. He hit that 2-run homer back in the first. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Powell strikes out with Brady down at second. It's still 4-3 Baltimore. To the top of the 4th we go. And Quentin, who had that big error due up Baines and Lemon. Quentin is 1-for-1. He had the back-to-back homers in the first to give the White Sox at the time a 2-0 lead. Here's the pitch to Quentin. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Nick. He's got room out there in right field for out number 1. Now Harold Baines comes up, 1 out, nobody on. And he's 0-for-1 today. He flew out the left. Here's the pitch to the Hall of Famer, and that's going to be a base on balls. Palmer walks Baines. Baines is down at first. Go-ahead run comes to the plate, and Chet Lemon, he doubled. Came around the score back in the second. And here's the pitch to Chet. And that's going to be a 2 balls and no strike count. The first time Palmer's gotten behind on anybody. And that's going to be a team. That's going to be a rare play. The runner down at first on a 40, a 54 on a 40. That is going to be runners picked off first, and runner is ejected from the game for disputing the call. As Al Red Sox fan joins us here, check out his great channel. So Harold Baines gets picked off first, And then he gets ejected for arguing with the umpire, folks. So now that is 2 outs and nobody on. Let's decide who we're going to bring in here for Baines here. He'll be coming in, so don't forget to do that. Guess it's going to be Jermaine Dye is going to come into the game for Baines. So Baines gets ejected. Now there's 2 outs and nobody on for Chet Lemon. Trailing by 1. Here's the pitch to Chet again. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Frank Robinson in the gap makes the catch. Now to win the inning, but now we need a new right fielder. Let's see here. As Jermaine Dye is going to come in the game. Oh, just at work today. Oh, Al says he's listening at work. So let's see here. Bring in Jermaine Dye. Put him in right field, and he'll bat in the 5th spot. As Baines gets ejected. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. It's a 4-3 game. You got Brooks Robinson, Chris Hoyles, and Palmer, the bottom third of the order, due up here for the Orioles. Joe is settled down after that 4-run first inning. Here's the pitch to Brooks. Brooks is walked his first time up. That's a ground ball down to Anderson. It's short. He throws it over to Frank, and there's 1 down. And now we got Chris Hoyles up. Chris, he flew out to center field his first time up, 0-1. And that's going to be a fly ball. This one out to Quentin. He makes the catch, doesn't mess this one up. And now there's quickly 2 down. Can Jim Palmer, it's not a bad hitting pitcher, come through here. He struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Joe strikes him out again. Now it's a 1-2-3 4th. To the top of the 5th we go. Orioles 4, White Sox 3. You got the bottom third due up here for the White Sox. Ward, AJ, and Joe. And you see the team comparisons. The White Sox are 4-6, scored 38 runs on 14 homers and 2 stolen bases. The Orioles are 5-6. They've scored 45 runs, 17 homers, and haven't a stolen base or been caught. Ward's up here. He's 0-1. And Pete's going to fly out to Frank in left field, and that'll be 1 down. AJ comes to the plate. He had a sacrifice fly last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Palmer. He tosses it over to Boog Powell, and there's 2 down. Can Joe help his own cause? He was a strikeout victim his first time up against Jim. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Nick. And that's an easy 5th. Side goes down in order. To the bottom of the 5th we go. With the top of the order due up here for the Orioles. Roberts, Markakis, and Ripken. Brian, he's 1-for-2, doubled and came around the score. He struck out though his last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Ward. He throws over to first. 1 down here in the 5th. And that brings up Nick. Markakis has been a strikeout victim both times. Joe trying for the hat trick against Nick. And not this time. He does get a wood on the ball, but it's an easy fly ball out the right field. Jermaine Dye barely has to move. And there's 2 down. Mr. Ripken comes to the plate. He's 0-2. He is flown out and grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Can Anderson field this one cleanly is the question. 35 and an 8. And nope, that's going to be an E6. So Anderson bobbles that one, keeps the inning alive. What happened the last time there was 2 outs and an error? 3 runs came across the board to give the Orioles the lead. And that brings up Brady Anderson. He's 1-for-1 today. He has doubled, driven in a run, scored, and stolen a base. He has hit his last time up. And he gets a hold of this one. And again, with 2 outs, the error might cost him. And that ball is driven into the gap in right field. Ripken doesn't have great speed. But let's see if he can score here with 2 outs. Like I say, that'll be driven into right field. And with 2 outs, that'll be a 52. Jermaine Dye's got a good arm out there. And with 2 outs, they're going to send him. See if Ripken can get in here. A 46 or lower, he's safe. And he's in there. That's an RBI double by Brady. And the error cost him again, folks. That is 4 unearned runs in this game, if I'm correct. We'll take a look here at the box score. I'm pretty sure that's 4 unearned runs. Both errors have cost them runs in this game. Joe is just shaking his head. What does he got to do? Guess he's got to strike everybody out. He can't rely on that defense at all. Yep, 5 runs have scored. Only 1 of them earned. Crazy. So now you got a runner down at second, 2 outs. And Mr. Frank Robinson's up. Frank Robinson, he reached on an error and came around the score back in the first. Flew out the right in the third. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Don't tell me Quentin's going to make another error here, folks. Oh, man. Let's see. A 34 and a 1 is probably going to be a 3. Yep. And he does. First on air, the runner scores. Back to back. Well, no, it wasn't. He had the double in there. 2 errors in this inning leads to 2 runs. Runner still down at first. 2 outs, and Joe is just fuming, folks. Fuming. They go out to talk to him and tell him, you pitched a hell of a game, man. He's given up 3 hits. 4 hits, rather. 6 runs, only 1 of them earned. And they've had 3 errors, and all 3 errors have led to runs. Now you got Robinson down at first. Frank with damn good speed. Big pal out the plate. He's 1 for 2. He homered, struck out his last time up, though. And he gets a hold of this. And Joe's just throwing meatballs up there now. He is so frustrated. And that ball is driven into the gap, and that should easily score Frank Robinson with his speed and 2 outs. And it's going to be a 63 or lower. And he scores on the double by Powell. And the Orioles are blowing this game open, folks. It is now a 7-4 ball game. 3 runs here in the 5th. And that brings up the other Robertson, Brooksy. The human vacuum cleaner's up here. He's 0 for 1. He's walked and grounded out. Oh, you have a good one too, Al, buddy. And Brooks is 0 for 1. He's walked and grounded out. And that's going to be a fly ball out the die. That'll end the inning, but the damage is done. 3 unearned runs. Makes it a 7-3 ball game. So we go to the top of the 6th. Got the top of the order due up here for the White Sox, trailing by 4 now. Anderson, Orta, and Thomas. And Tim is 0 for 2 today. And that's going to be a fly ball out that. The other Anderson, his namesake, Brady's out there, makes the catch. And there's 1 down. Anderson to Anderson, and the Brady type wins the battle. Orta's up now. He's 0 for 2, struck out his last time up. And that's a swing and a miss again. Jim strikes him out for the 2nd time. That's Palmer's 4th strike out of the game. Half of them has been Orta. Now you got Frank Thomas up. Frank's 1 for 2 with a solo homer. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Palmer's in a groove now with a 4-run lead. He's attacking these hitters now. Back-to-back strikeouts. Can he strike this? Oh, that was the 3rd out. So now we go to the bottom of the 6th. You got Hoyles, Palmer, and Roberts due up. And Chris, he's 0 for 2. He has flown out both times to center and left. And that's going to be a base on balls. I'd like to see Joe make it through this inning here. He is due up. Well, he might not make it through this inning. We'll see. Palmer's up now. He's going to try to lay down a bunt, get Chris over to second. And that's going to be he fouls both pitches off. 0-2. They're going to keep the bunt sign on. And he fouls it off. Palmer strikes out trying to bunt. And now we go to Brian Roberts with a runner down at first and one out. And that's going to be a fly ball. Chet Lemon's got a beat on it. Makes the catch. Two down rather. And Nick Markakis 2 outs. Runner at first. Leading 7-3. He's 0 for 3 today. He has struck out twice and flew out to right his last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Joe. He tosses it out. Nope, that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Nick out for the third time. Nick gets the hat trick. We go to the top of the 7th. It's still a 7-3 ball game. Quentin due up, followed by Jermaine Dye and Lemon. Remember, Quentin has made 2 costly errors. He does have a homer in the game. Here's the pitch to Carlos. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Nick. And there will be 1 down. And Jermaine Dye, this is his first time coming to the plate. Remember, Harold Baines got picked off at first and was ejected from the game for arguing. And Dye is only batting .053. He is 1 for 19 with 1 RBI and no homers. And that's going to be against the righty. It'll be a 21 on a 9. And that's a nice play down there by the human vacuum cleaner, Brooksy, to take a hit away from Dye. Nice dive and stop. Gets up, throws him out. And now there's 2 down, and Chet Lemon's 1 for 2 with a double in the game. And that's going to be a ground ball again down to Brooks. A lot easier play this time. And that's a 1-2-3 top of the 7th. We go to the 7th inning stretch and a 7-3 Baltimore lead. We got Ripken, Anderson, and Roberts due up here for the Orioles. And Hoyles, Joe is due up third. See if he can get through this 7th inning. Can he make it through the 7th? That is the question. Can he make it through this inning? Remember, out of those 7 runs, only one of them's earned, folks. Kyle Ripken's 0 for 3 today. He did reach on an error back in the 5th, his last at bat, and scored. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Ripken goes the other way. Drops in front of Dye. He can't get to it. Holds Ripken to a single with his speed. Brings up Brady Anderson, who's having a fine game. He is 2 for 2, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and he scored twice. He has stolen a base, only 1. He hasn't stolen 2 bases, or that would be 2s all around. 2 for 2 with 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. And he gets a hold of this. Brady Anderson's having one hell of a game, folks. Can he drive Ripken in again? And that ball is high. That ball is far. How far is that one going to go? Kiss it goodbye. Brady Anderson hits one over the right field fence. Jermaine Dye watches it leave the park. And it is a 9-3 ball game. Still nobody out here in the 7th. That'll get the bullpen up. They might have to do a double switch. And that brings up Frank Robinson. Nobody out, nobody on. He's 0 for 3. He has reached on 2 errors by Quentin Carlos. Carlos Quentin out in left field and scored both times. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that's a ground ball down the short. Anderson's up with it, fires over to Frank. There's finally 1 down. And Boog Powell comes up 2 for 3 with a double homer, 3 RBIs, and scored once. And that's a base hit in the right field. He turns on that one, drives that ball hard in the right field. He gets to die quickly, though. Boog will stop at first with 1 out. And Brooksy's 0 for 2. He's walked, grounded out, and flown out. And that's going to be a rare play, probably. Let's see. 61. That's going to be a rare play. A 61 and a 40. 39. 61 and a 39. 14. That's going to be hit down the second to Orta. And he's going to make a nice play. That's going to be a double play line drive. Boog Powell strays a little too far off, and they double him up. So finally something good happens here for the White Sox. That gets them out of the inning. The old 4-3 double play. We go to the top of the 8th. The Orioles scored 2 on a 2-run homer, and it's 9-2. And you got Ward, AJ, and then a pitch hitter for Joe. And Pete's 0 for 2. And you can see the team comparisons. White Sox batting .214 with an on-base percentage of .278. They're slugging .398 with an OPS of .676. The Orioles are batting .231 with an on-base percentage of .303, slugging .423 with an OPS of .726. Here's the pitch to Pete Ward, and that's going to be a base on balls. And that's Palmer's second walk of the game to go with his 5 strikeouts. AJ's up now. Palmer would love to see a ground ball double play here to get him out of this. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Anderson in center for out number 1. We'll have a pitch hitter here for Joe. Let's see who's going to come off the bench. I think all the lefties are in the game. I think they got one lefty on the bench. Robin Ventura is going to come off the bench. Try to get something going here with a runner on first and 1 out. And Robin's batting .150. He's got 2 homers and 5 RBIs. 1 out, 1 on, trailing by 6. And that's going to be a pop-up. Back behind the plate, Chris Hoyles takes the mask off near the screen for out number 2. And Mr. Anderson, Tim Anderson, comes to the plate 0 for 3 today. And that's going to be another pop-up this straight up the chute. That wouldn't be a home run in a phone booth. And that'll be out number 3. White Sox strand 1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Yeah, Palmer settled down in the White Sox. They can't field worth a crap today, Parallel League. Yeah, there's 3 errors. All 3 errors has cost them runs. Let's see who's going to come out of the bullpen here. What we got? We got Hoyles, Palmer, and then up to Robinson. So Bob Locker is going to come out of the bullpen here. In a 6-run deficit. And Philip Reynolds joins us here. So let's see here. Where's Mr. Locker? He's going to try to lock this game down, pun intended. And this is Bob's 4th appearance of the year. He has no record with a 5.4 ERA. The bottom part of the order due up Hoyles and Palmer, and then it turns over to Mr. Brian Roberts. And Chris Hoyles is 0 for 2 today. He did walk his last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Anderson. And this is going to be their 4th error. Anderson's 2nd, I believe. That's an E6. Chris Hoyles is aboard here with a leadoff error. Palmer's going to try to bunt him down the 2nd. Let's see, I'm pretty sure that's the 2nd error on Anderson. I think Anderson and Quentin have all 4 errors. Let's see here. Yep, Quentin and Anderson has the 4 errors, 2 apiece. Now Palmer's up, nobody out, runner at first. He's 0 for 3. He was unable to get the bunt down the last time. He has struck out all 3 times. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a nice bunt. Nope, he fouls that one off too. Misses both bunt attempts. Palmer can't get the bunt down. They're keeping the bunt on. And that's going to be a foul ball. He fouls out off, strikes out for the 4th time. Palmer goes back to the dugout, shaking his head. Hasn't done bad on the mound, but he sure hasn't been able to produce at the plate and get the bunts down. Brings up Brian. He's 1 for 4 with a double, and he's scored a run. That's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Quentin runs over, makes the catch this time for out number 2. So it's all up to Nick Markakis here with 2 outs and a runner down at first to add to this 9-3 lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Nick is 0 for 4. He has struck out 3 times, flown out the other time. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Anderson fires over the first, picks this one clean, and that'll end the 8th. And the first time an error hasn't cost them a run in this game. We go to the top of the 9th. The White Sox got a lot of work to do. They do have the top of the order. They are trailing by 6. Palmer trying to get the complete game. Anderson, Orta, and Thomas due up here. Oh, not Anderson. It's Orta, Thomas, and Quentin. Sorry about that. You got the 2, 3, 4 hitters due up. Orta is 0 for 3. He struck out the last 2 times up. And that's going to be a rare play. A 25 and a 36. And that's going to be hit down the 2nd. Can Brian make the play here? A 56 and a 9. And that is going to be barely column number 1. And nice play by Brian. Nice dive and stops, able to throw Orta out at first. And there's 1 down. That's the difference in the game. Orioles making the plays and the White Sox booting them. Frank is 1 for 3. He homered back in the first to give the White Sox at the time a 1-0 lead. And that's going to be a base on balls. Palmer might be getting tired. That's his 3rd walk of the game. And here comes the man that has done well at the plate but screwed it up and has cost them this game. Carlos Quentin, he is 1 for 3 with a homer. He made it 2-0 back in the first. And he's done it again. That ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is gone, but it might be too little too late. And that makes it a 9-5 ball game. We'll get the bullpen up now. And you got Jermaine Dye up with nobody on and 1 out. Dye, he came in because Baines got ejected from the game for arguing, being picked off. Here's the pitch to Dye, and he is 0 for 1. And that ball is high. That ball is far. And again, back-to-back homers. And that'll be it for Palmer, folks. All of a sudden now it's a 9-6 ball game. And he's going to come in here. O'Day. Darren O'Day's coming in the ball game as Aaron Reed joins us here as Palmer can't get out of the 9th inning. So that'll be it for Palmer. And O'Day will come in. And try to save this game here. Which once was a 6-run lead is now cut to a 3-run lead. We'll check out Palmer's stat line here. Palmer 8 1/3, 5 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and giving up the 4 homers. And all 4 of them are back-to-back homers. Back-to-back homers in this first, and now back-to-back in the ninth. He's got Chet Lemon due up here against O'Day. O'Day is 0-1. This is his 3rd game with a 6 ERA. Base is empty. And Lemon is 1 for 3. He has doubled and came around to score. And that's going to be a ground ball down to the human vacuum cleaner for out number 2. White Sox down to their last out. And Ward's up. He's 0 for 2. He did walk his last time up. Can he keep this game alive for Chicago? And nope. O'Day does his job. That's a swing and a miss. And that's your ball game. The Orioles hang on. White Sox have some fight in them. Made it a little interesting. We'll take a look here at the box score. Let's see here. It's probably about the errors. Yep, the White Sox had 4 errors in the game. I don't think I did drop any dice, Aaron. I don't remember dropping any. Yeah. So the Orioles 9 runs on 8 hits and no errors. The White Sox 6 runs, 5 hits, and 4 costly errors. The only 1 error didn't cost them any runs. 3 errors cost them runs. Frank Thomas and Carlos Quentin, both with 2 hits, both of them with homers. Quentin had those 2 costly errors out in left field. The White Sox were 0 for 1, and with runners in scoring position, it was the long ball that Palmer gave up. They only left 1 man on base. Palmer pitched a hell of a game except for giving up them gopher balls. And you had Brady Anderson having one hell of a game, 3 for 3, 4 RBIs, 2 doubles. Orioles were only 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position, left 5 men on. Joe picks up the loss. He falls to 0-3, 7 innings, 8 hits. He gave up 9 runs, folks. Only 3 of them earned. 6 unearned runs. 2 walks, struck out 8 and gave up 2 homers. Locker comes in, shuts him down for 1 inning with 1 strikeout. Palmer picks up his 2nd win of the year. He's 2-1, 8 1/3. Couldn't quite get the job done in the 9th. 5 hits, 6 runs, walked 3, struck out 5, and like I say, gave up the 4 homers. O'Day comes in, pitches 2/3 of an inning with a strikeout. Take a look here now at the standings and leaderboard in the American League. And the Yankees are now only 5 games up on the Orioles with the win. Toronto and Boston are both 6 games back, and the Devil Rays are 8 games back. And in the Central, the Kansas City Royals are a game and a half up on the Twins, Indians, and Tigers. And with the loss, the White Sox dropped to 3.5 games back. Now, West, the Rangers are leading the West by 3 games up on LA and 4.5 games up on Seattle and Oakland. Mickey Rivers is leading the American League with a 368 average for the Rangers. Ramirez with 6 homers, and Roger Maris leading the league with 13 RBIs. And Zach Greinke's leading the American League with a 0.75 ERA. We got 4 pitchers tied with 3 wins. And Wetland for the Rangers with 6 saves leading the American League. And you got Kenny Lofton leading the American League in the MVP voting, and Tim Wakefield's leading the league with the Cy Young votes right now. And the next game on the channel will be the second game of this series between the White Sox and Orioles. Take a look at the pitching matchup here real quick. And it's going to be Mr. Will Wood going against Mike Cuellar. So that should be a hell of a pitching matchup. See if it's a little better than this one. I want to thank Aaron Reed for stopping by, Philip Reynolds. Check out both of their great channels. Parallel League, Al Red Sox fan. Check out his great channel. I believe that was everybody. Until next time, folks, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Hit that like button, hit that bell for reminders. Till next time, y'all have a great day and take care.